What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. I am back after a 1 week hiatus. It is good old MF Michael Flecha. And ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing more to say. Tonight is the night, the last Smackdown, and practically the last event that WWE will have before WrestleMania. There's nothing that stops it now. We are all heading to Florida after tonight. We started it off with SmackDown Live, and more importantly, the contract signing between Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. Shane McMahon and AJ Styles, I should say. It was hosted by Daniel Bryan, and I liked it. I loved both men talking about it. I love what WrestleMania meant to both men. Shane giving a lot of praise to AJ Styles, saying how great he was and the whole 9 yards leading into that fight and what he's going to do, what he's capable of. You know, contract signings, there's always that thing about, Anthony and Mike Bullock said, things can go chaotic. Nothing ever ends. This time around, yes, the table got moved. They got into each other's faces, but there was no physical contact. Not this time around. And quite frankly, we didn't need the contact. We didn't need the fisticuffs. What they did here tonight, it served its purpose. They played it perfectly. Praise AJ Styles. You see the love by Shane McMahon. I was really into it. But I gotta admit, 75-25, the crowd was on the side of AJ Styles, not Shane McMahon. And as a matter of fact, there was a lot of boo-birds tonight. How's that going to feel? What's that going to look like at WrestleMania? Let the chips fall where they may. But one thing was for sure, this was a great way to start the final SmackDown Live, the go-home show for WrestleMania. With that said, Anthony Florio, I give it to you, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, this was a good way to start it off. I got to tell you, Bullock and I did our SmackDown chat tonight, and, some people may not have may felt this was a little bit underwhelming, but no, this served its purpose. You said it best. I mean, Shane O'Mac showing the love for AJ Styles, and then AJ doing the vintage AJ Styles, the heel promo that we know he can cut very well. And, save the fisticuffs for Sunday night when we battle it out in the roller coaster that will be WrestleMania 33. I think you see where I went with. I think you know where I went with that. So that's really all I can say. So second best segment of the night. One other segment that was better, and oh boy, when we get to that, we are going to have a lot of fun with that. Ain't that right, Michael Bullock, as I throw it to you?
Oh, you damn right about that, Florios. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this segment. Great way to start off SmackDown Live. Yeah, I mean, Shane McMahon praising AJ Styles and then saying what he was gonna, are you still gonna feel phenomenal? You won't be that phenomenal when I beat you at WrestleMania. And then AJ Styles cutting a heel promo saying, you know what, Shane McMahon, you've never been in an actual wrestling match, an actual one-on-one singles match where you could get disqualified and counted out, because some of the matches you've been in, whether it's Hell in a Cell or tables matches or no holds barred matches, and then they had that nice little standoff, and I agree with you, Fletch. I mean, I like that there was no physicality here. I mean, definitely want to save it for WrestleMania. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to complain about. So yeah, yeah. So there's really nothing more to say. So I don't know what happened to Dee Dee Woodson. So I guess we're just gonna move on.
Yeah, she'll come back. She just had it looks like she had some computer issues. It looks like she said she was going to go to mobile. She said that she might might have to pick up, one of her sons. So we'll have to wait and see. Until then, one other thing, and I know this was really needed to be addressed because this, like I said, this was on the road to WrestleMania, but they talked about last week and how Shane McMahon did that leap of faith move, that elbow drop through AJ Styles through the announce table. And there was even talk that Shane McMahon is not at 100%, that he actually got genuinely hurt for what he did last week. And there was a little bit of a concern, especially from WWE brass from behind the scenes, that they were really worried about, and was he going to be at 100%, because they actually said he was noticeably limping during the week. I get now some people were thinking, he's probably just selling the injuries, from last week on Smack. A lot of people were like, no, this is a little different. Shane is genuinely hurt, and that's why the idea they had going into WrestleMania, they actually altered it. So that's why we're having this just a one-on-one matchup, because the original rumor was that this was supposed to be a no-holds-barred street fight, but because of Shane maybe not at 100% going into WrestleMania, that's why they dropped it down and just made this a legit one-on-one. Dee Dee Woodson has now joined us. So, Dee Dee, we haven't really gone much further. We're only just talking about the opening segment, the contract signing between Shane McMahon and AJ Styles. So, just give us your thoughts quickly.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good segment. I really enjoyed it. You could tell at the end there, Shane really did not want to extend his hand, but did. And, of course, AJ just, being the chicken shit that he is, just kind of took off and walked away. So, very good segment. It did make you look forward to the match. So, good storytelling there. That's all I'm going to say about it.
All right. Very well, and we're going to move right on. And what we had next, well, this ended up being a chaotic segment, but it was really good. Okay. Initially, it was Carmella versus Becky Lynch in a one-on-one match. The fight got thrown out because Alexa Bliss, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Mickie James, basically, they were at ringside. They were doing commentary, and they decided to get involved in the fight. So the fight gets thrown out, and it was a no contest. It was later deemed a tag team fight. Alexa Bliss and Carmella versus Mickie James and Becky Lynch. And the winner of that match in 7 minutes and 3 seconds unofficially was Alexa Bliss and Carmella, when Becky Lynch got distracted by Natalya. But wait, there's more. Naomi's music hits. She has returned from her injury, and she has announced that she is now going to fight at WrestleMania. She is cleared. She is good to go, and she will fight for the women's title and will be part of, it looks like it's now a 6-pack challenge. There could be more women added to the match at WrestleMania, but as of now, we got ourselves a 6-pack challenge for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania. But I hate to do this, but they have announced that this is going to be on the pre-show. That's right. This fight has been taken off the main card. It's got a lot of people upset earlier today. Anthony Florio, with everything included, talk about the match, talk about the WrestleMania now being 6 women, and more importantly, it just got bumped off the main show. Give me your thoughts about that as well.
2.25 to 2.5 stars for the match. I felt it was a solid enough fight on that. And as far as what we're gonna have for Mania goes, I am so glad to see Naomi back. Her injury derailed what could have been a nice story about her carrying her first championship reign into her hometown at WrestleMania. But at least this way, she doesn't miss the show. The rest of the women's division feels lost at this point. It was much better with individual feuds, but WWE's habit of getting everyone on the show, no matter how it affects stories, made them a casualty this year, I'm afraid. And that's why they get bumped to the pre-show. So I think that's the reasoning why. I don't really... I mean, let's face it. 13 total matches on this card. We can't put all 13 on the same show. Otherwise, we'll be there all night. So we have to, we always have to, what MF likes to always say. What do you always like to say, MF? Trim the fat, as you always like to say. So that's what they're doing here. They're trimming the fat. We've got 3 matches now on the kickoff. So we're down to 10 matches for the main card. And I know we're gonna talk about another one of those matches that has been bumped to the pre-show. And honestly, I'm not at all surprised it got bumped to the pre-show. So, but anyways, the match was fine. It was solid for what it was. It was solid for the effort. 2.25, 2.5, like I said. I'm happy for Naomi. I'm glad she's back. And I don't think we need to wait until Thursday to give a prediction. I'm going out on the limb. I'm saying Naomi is going to regain the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania in that 6-pack challenge, unless they decide to add more, which they could. You never know, because Kelly's been contacted, Victoria's been contacted. Who knows who else could end up getting contacted? So we'll see what happens. So that's really all I can say on that. So Michael Bowick, we talked about this during our SmackDown chat as always, and well, what else is there to say?
Yeah, I'm going to say 2.25 to 2.5 stars as well. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good match for what it was and the amount of time it got. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm glad to see Naomi back from her injury and that she's going to be at WrestleMania. And yeah, Florio, you and I talked about it, and I'm going to say the same thing. Naomi is going to walk out the SmackDown Women's Champion and doing it in her hometown of Orlando, Florida. So there's really nothing more to say. So, well, yeah, I mean, as far as it's getting moved to the pre-show, the SmackDown Women's title, what looks like a 6-pack challenge. Yeah, I mean, I know some people are up in arms and upset about it, including our own Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson, but like you just mentioned, I mean, there's 13 total matches on the card. We can't put all 13, or it's going to be a really, really, really long show, which obviously we don't need. So some of the matches obviously had to get moved to the kickoff show, and this is one of them. So yes, and I mean, so we'll wait and see how it all plays out. So 2.25, 2.5 stars. So Twist Angel, Dee Woodson, I give it to you, and I understand you're pretty upset about this, unless you want to talk about the match and if you want to vent off about it.
Well, as far as the match goes, I pretty much kind of agree with you all on that one. Glad to see Naomi back. Yeah, I hope she's one of the ones who will, or the one that will come out of the six-pack challenge. As for it being on the pre-show, that I have an issue with because that just pretty much makes it look like the Raw women are more important than the SmackDown ladies. I mean, there's other matches you could put on the pre-show than to degrade the SmackDown title to that point. You know, they sit here and they talk about how I think John Cena said it later on in the night, how the ladies are now trying to compete at the men's level. Well, if you're putting them on the pre-show like this for their title, that's not competing them with the men. You're giving Raw that chance to have their title on the main card. Why can't SmackDown do that? Throw one of the other matches over on the pre-show. I'm sure there's some other filler matches that could have been thrown in over there than what we've got now. So I'm driving, so I'm not going to continue my rant too much more. So I'm just going to toss it over to you guys.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people were talking about this, and a lot of people are more upset over the fact that it was really that when, because the rumor came out earlier in the afternoon that the women were going to get bumped to the pre-show, and a lot of people exploded about it because they're like, you know, Alexa Bliss, you know, she deserves this opportunity. She's one of the best heel women right now on the roster, and you don't have that many heel women that really exudes or really can get under the skin of the fan base, and a lot of people are very high on her. That's a logical decision. Why did they move it? Why was it pre-show? Now Naomi is back, and you're kind of thinking, oh my God, did WWE miss an opportunity here? Because now Naomi is back. You have to believe she's gonna get that home turf rub now, you know, being in Orlando, being at the Camping World Stadium in front of 70,000. And when she came back tonight, you heard the crowd. I mean, I think they really are rallying behind Naomi, you know, and I think WWE might have made a horrific mistake here. But again, let's see what plays out. Let's see what happens. And could this possibly be just a harmless mistake? We don't know. Whatever the case may be, like Dee Woodson said, there's a lot of matches that could have gotten relegated here to pre-show. Certain fights that we felt that doesn't really stick out is now on the main card. And here's the thing, guys. And if you really think about it, it's one officially from Raw, one officially from SmackDown, and then you got the interpromotional, which is the Battle Royale, which was, we kind of had a feeling, we all kind of expected the Battle Royale was going to be pre-show no matter what. But representing Monday Night Raw, it's Austin Aries versus Adrian Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship of the world. Flipped out over that last night. Now you got possibly a six-pack challenge for the SmackDown Women's title on the pre-show, the kickoff show, leading to WrestleMania. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out on Sunday night. But one thing that we do know that will be on the main show, and boy, did this take a turn tonight. It was The Miz TV and his of Total Bellas, the finale of Total Bellas, and it got real personal. It got serious. Yes, it was funny, haha, but then it got serious. The Miz cut a skating promo about John Cena and Nikki Bella. Then Nikki took a shot at Maurice took a shot at Nikki. John Cena came back and he dropped the biggest pipe bombs in my career. And he went there and then some. Screw PG. John Cena. He ripped a Maurice. He torched the Miz. Man. Michael Bullock, how do you follow this?
Man, all I can say is this was the segment of the night. I mean, man, talk about your back and forth, and this is what it was. It was back and forth, and of course, starting off with the Miz and Maurice showing the rest of the Total Bellas finale, and yeah, and then and then after that, of course, excuse me, and they say, it got personal. We even saw John Cena do a little Dr. Thugonomics, and then basically, we saw some pipe bombs here. Starting off, of course, and then Cena, and then the Miz starts acting like himself while he get laugh off a parody, but says Miz is full of, and Maurice wasn't asked back because when she was there before, she didn't do nothing. And then go search the best of Maurice on the WWE Network, and you won't find anything. And then Cena, of course, basically mocks the Miz for making crappy bootlegs of movies that he already made. Of course, remember, John Cena started in that movie, The Marine, and then The Miz was in those other Marine movies. And then he claims there is a women's revolution and that Maurice shows up and steals a paycheck. The only reason Maurice is back is because Miz begged WWE to bring her back so he could be on Total Divas. Cena then takes a shot, noting that they don't have kids either, and asks if Miz is shooting blanks. Cena says all the Miz and Maurice do is talk and blame others when they fail. On Sunday, he will punch the Miz right in the mouth. And then Cena basically takes off anything and says, you know what, I will. And he says, you know what, Miz, why don't you do something about it? Why don't you take a shot at me? And then, you know what, Miz and Maurice basically, as we always like to say, took their ball and went home. So, man, this was a segment I really liked, and man, there's really nothing more to say. So, Dee Dee Woodson, your thoughts on the segments, and all I can say is, so that happened.
Yeah, that happened. All right. Man, this definitely was the segment of the night. Kevin was telling me earlier he thinks that this would probably be possibly a sleeper fight the way these two were going at it. But in my opinion, I think we'll see more action out of the guys than we will the girls, because we have still yet to see Maurice fighting in the ring since she returned. What the hell is going on with that? She has no business running her mouth if she hasn't come back in the ring and proved that she is everything she's saying she is. So, in my opinion, if I'm going to back one of these couples, I'm going to back Cena and Nikki, because they had a lot more valid points than what The Miz did. John Cena's right. He made the movies first before The Miz kind of came in and stole the thunder on that. Everybody's talking about him taking his ball and leaving because he's making movies. He's the one who's there every week still after making the movies. Even if he is gone for a few weeks, he still comes back, just like he said he did. How often have we seen The Rock come back after making movies? Not very much. So, I mean, there's valid points there. And, you know, Nikki has proven that she's capable of being in the ring even with these guys. And Maurice, like I said, has not been in the ring. So, in my opinion, the only two people that will probably see the most in the ring will be Miz and Cena. Because I doubt that Maurice will want to get in there with Nikki once the match starts. She'll play the little chicken shit.
Yeah, she'll probably basically act like a chicken.
Yeah, she'll play the chicken shit card and try to go hide in the corner and not want to come out unless, you know, something happens to Nikki to keep her from fighting back, which I don't see that happening. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, it was another storyline building segment, and compared to last week, this one actually, I think, hit the nail on the head and really, you know, made it seem like you're wanting to see this match. You're wanting to see who's going to come out on top, which couple is going to make it or break it. So we'll see who the top WWE Smackdown couple will be, hopefully this Sunday. So I'm going to toss it over to Florio.
And then Dee Dee Woodson, you want to know what happens when Miz and Maurice make stupid statements like that?
What happens?
You don't want to know what happens?
What happens?
Miz and Maurice, you just made the list.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
I figured that would make your night.
Oh, yeah.
If you think that's something, Dee Dee Woodson, wait until Sunday night on the recap show if the Wrestling Forum's favorite tag team, Enzo Amore and Big Cass, become the Raw Tag Team Champions.
Oh, I know.
I'm
expecting it.
We got something big in store for you. Trust me on that.
I'm expecting it.
We're gonna have.
I'm gonna step out for a minute because I've got to get my boy.
Yes.
That I'm picking up. So
yes, of course.
I will return here shortly and probably have. I don't know if he'll make any commentary. He didn't watch Raw or SmackDown, but I'll be doing the rest of the show with him. So we'll see you in a little bit.
Alrighty. Now, as far as this no question about it. This was the segment of the night. Bullock absolutely nailed it on the head. My Lord, did we have fun with this? Especially the funny haha stuff. It's not often I say their funny haha stuff is actually funny, but in this case, I kind of thought it was. Especially when they had, even the Daniel Bryan thing was kind of funny to me. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, you know, the vegan thing. I mean, that was. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing. I mean, heard me going crazy during that funny haha stuff. I'll admit it was funny, especially Miz doing that robotic Cena voice. I mean, I thought that was pretty hilarious too. But in all seriousness, though, once we started talking about the match, Oh boy. They went there. And was it just me? Or did we see a little bit of the thugonomics John Cena during that? I mean, that was really good stuff. I mean, whoa. That was a long segment. Some of the Total Bella jokes were comical, but once things got serious, it became a bit of a scorched earth approach that left me liking that really, intensified this whole thing. The feel-good story here is Cena asking his longtime girlfriend to marry him, but they didn't really succeed in humanizing Cena much. He might be right about Miz and Maurice, but I don't know. But the thing is, that segment was amazing. I mean, that was wow. I mean, I can't really follow what these guys said. I mean, it was just they went there. Storyline progression at its finest right here. And I'll be honest, it actually got me looking forward to this match now. I couldn't say I was overly excited going in, but after what we saw tonight, my excitement level just went sky high. That's how you sell a match right there. Well done to all involved. That's all I can say on that. So, OMF. If only we were doing this thing. How much fun would we have had? Would we have had as much fun as Bullock and I did during this?
If we were doing the 3-man booth with this would have been like, I think it would have been Santa Maria, Mamma Mia. There definitely would have been a lot of more Ronaldo coming out of me, but you really didn't need much. I mean, just let these guys do what they do best. Let them do and that's the thing. When Cena came out and started on Maurice and The Miz about everything that they did, and the one thing that really made it the humanized area was Cena took everything off. He took off the wristbands. He took the shirt. He threw the hat. I mean, he stripped everything down. This was no longer John Cena. It was John Cena, the man. And that made this even better. And that's why. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but Cena, it looked like Cena came off as an a-hole. Everybody said it best. Sometimes not everything in life is all peaches and cream and pixie dust and rainbows and unicorns. Sometimes it's a cold, dark place. Sometimes even people who has their dark sides to every one of them. Not everybody is, perfect in this world. We all have faults. We all make mistakes. We all have done things we've all regretted and probably did. And I love the area where Cena got as real as he did. And yeah, I'll even say it. Recognizing real tonight. He brought an element that we've seen a few times, we've seen a lot of, but at the end of the day, he made us feel he humanized himself. Now, what happened on Sunday night at WrestleMania, we don't know. But we are expecting that Cena is going to beat, Cena and Nikki is supposed to win this fight. About an engagement. Now, if that's meant for storyline or in real life, we don't know. Well, we won't know until it happens at Camping World Stadium in Orlando at WrestleMania. But one thing is for sure, the expectation level, and this was probably the one fight that I was the most concerned about on the SmackDown end. Not anymore. Nothing is stopping this runaway train. And for me, Anthony, I said it. The one match that I was the most concerned about going into WrestleMania was the mixed tag. I don't have those reservations anymore. After what I saw tonight, SmackDown Live lineup is WrestleMania ready. You don't have any question marks, any doubts. There's nothing there that we need. There's nothing more that we need to worry about, at least on the SmackDown end. Now, there's a slight AJ Styles and Shane McMahon might be a slight question mark, but every other fight is good to go. You got no worries on the SmackDown end. Team Blue is clicking on all cylinders. That is why I did the new A show of WWE. Take notes, Monday Night Raw. All right. And speaking of something that's going to happen on the pre-show, a 10-man tag team fight. It was the American Alphas, Mojo Rawley, and Heath Slater and Rhino, and they went up against Breezango, Fandango, and Tyler Breeze. They just got added to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Dolph Ziggler, and the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. So who leads off? Dee Dee Woodson?
I don't have my notes in front of me, so I really can't rate it because I don't have my notes in front of me, but I do think it was a really good match. If I can remember right, I think I was going to rate it 3 to 3.5, but I'm going to let you guys talk about it because, like I said, I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm still in the car, so that's all I'm going to say.
This was a really good match. I got to be honest with you. I'm going to give it between 2.5 and 3 stars for the effort. I mean, this was a really, really good match. I mean, Bullock and I didn't really have any high hopes going into it when we did our SmackDown chat, but I'll say it like this. I mean, 4 SmackDown guys added to it, and they must have heard me. Because now, I think we're pretty even now when it comes to the layout here. I mean, last night on the show, I said that it was a 10-3 ratio for of Raw guys in there. Now, as of right now, I think we're pretty much even now. It was 10-3 going in. 7, 8. We got more SmackDown guys than Raw guys now. I believe it's now 12-10. I think we have 22 names confirmed for this. You know, you got your Mojo Rawley, you got your Apollo Crews, your Big Show, Kurt Hawkins, Braun Strowman, Goldust, R-Truth, the Shining Stars, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, Jinder Mahal, Sami Zayn. And now tonight, you added Breezango, you got Dolph Ziggler, you got Rhino, Heath Slater, American Alpha, and the Usos. I was kind of hoping to see the Alphas and the Usos going at it for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship and a rematch at Mania, but obviously they're probably saving that for further down the road. And there's obviously big money in the Alphas, you know, being in chase mode, just like they were in NXT. But that's a story for another day. But how about this? I mean, it went from 10-3 in favor of Raw to now 12-10 in favor of SmackDown Live. That's practically even. So we got 22 names entered for this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Who knows if there could be more added as the week goes on. I don't know. It's very possible. But for right now, I got to say the match was really good. It exceeded my expectations. Sleeper fight of the night, no question about it. And everybody had some shining moments in this match, especially that final sequence. So Really good stuff for me. So 2.5 to 3 stars. Michael Bullock, color us surprised. We didn't have high hopes going into this bout, but boy, how did they surprise the hell out of us during this.
Yeah, I mean, going into this, I thought this was going to be a no rating to a dud fight, but no, this turned out to be way much better than I anticipated. So I'll give it 2.5 to 3 stars as well. I mean, yeah, I actually enjoyed this fight. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So Fletch, it's main event time.
And the main event of tonight's SmackDown Live was Bray Wyatt goes one-on-one with Luke Harper. Bray Wyatt wins the match. Solid fight. Very good main event. About 2.5 stars for me. But the post-fight, Randy Orton at it again. He goes back to the Wyatt compound. The stake right in the ground where Bray basically used the ashes of Sister Abigail and he smothered himself with it, calling him the Lord of Lords. And Randy Orton said that he's coming for Bray. He's coming for his title, and he's going to take it all at WrestleMania. To think that this was the most weirdest storyline going in, and I know a lot of people were really like, why did we get to this path? Where Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble, we all kind of assumed, okay, Bray has to win Elimination Chamber. He did. And now we went from burning huts to dudes in sheet masks holding Randy Orton captive to literally Orton putting the final nail on this rivalry, as there's nothing that stops us from WrestleMania on Sunday night. WrestleMania cannot come soon enough. That fight enough. Michael Bullock, his match is Taker and Roman that he had the best interest in. This one is the one that I cannot wait for. I had my doubts about the rivalry. I was very concerned going in. But, after Orton won the Royal Rumble, I didn't know how they were going to make this path. They nailed it. Hook, line, and sinker. I've bought in. I'm all in. The chips are on the table. Take my money. I will see you Sunday night for that match. Anthony Florio, what says you?
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, when it comes to the vested interests, to the matches with vested interest, I mean, for Michael Bullock, it's obviously The Undertaker and Roman Reigns. For UMF, I'm not at all surprised when you said that this was the match that was going to be the most vested interest for you. I even thought that myself. I told Bullock that during our Raw chat last night. I said that to him. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt is the match that MF's going to have the most vested interest in. For me, oh boy, I don't even know what it is on my end, honestly. I would probably have to say maybe Triple H and Seth Rollins, if I'm going to be real honest. The non-sanctioned match, because, when I hear non-sanctioned match, it conjures up those memories from SummerSlam 2002. But we'll get more into that in 48 hours when we have our big preview show on Thursday night. But, oh boy. This was another good match here. I could probably give this another 2.5 to 3 stars for the effort. I mean, Luke Harper with a new look. I mean, that's all I can say. And but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm honestly blown away that the best storyline they could come up with after 6 months of setting up this bout was a bunch of metaphysical nonsense about Sister Abigail and whether or not her decaying corpse has the power to bestow powers upon people. Wasn't there a much more straightforward path here with what they set up with the implosion of the Wyatts? What is the point of having 2 matches with this kind of symbology here? We already saw Taker digging graves on Monday. Personally, I think Orton and Wyatt could have had a much more physical feud that didn't rely so much on having people stretch extra hard to suspend their disbelief. I think the match will end up being very good on Sunday. I got a good feeling about it. But the path getting there, well, it was, hocus pocus, voodoo, all that. I was kind of hoping to see, a little more smash mouth physicality, but don't worry, we'll get that. We'll get there on Sunday. Trust me, we'll get that. And all that said, I liked Luke Harper here. I think he could use a radical character departure to get people reinvested in him. But after that, the sky is really the limit for him. He's just a ton of fun to watch in the ring, and he could be great on the mic if he could get away from dimly lit back rooms and speaking in riddles. So I think Luke Harper's going to be a future champion when all is said and done. But for right now, Orton and Wyatt, thank goodness we have a couple of days to think about this. My gut's telling me Orton's going to win the belt, but my heart is telling me Bray Wyatt's going to go over, and they're going to keep the title on him for a little bit. And Michael Bullock and I, we got into this during our Smackdown chat tonight. We talked about Bray Wyatt. We talked about how his last 2 WrestleMania bouts have not gone exactly to his liking. WrestleMania 30, John Cena. He loses to Cena. His momentum gets sucked out. Like his momentum, he loses so much momentum in the process. And then 31, as if being fed to Cena wasn't bad enough, then they feed Undertaker. And then last year, he had to sit back and watch Eric Rowan get squashed and buried by The Rock in 6 seconds. So what happens this year? Are they finally going to give him that WrestleMania moment that we know he honestly should have had already? My heart's telling me yes, but at the same time, my gut is telling me Randy Orton wins the title because of the fact that, the Royal Rumble. I mean, we haven't seen a Royal Rumble winner win the title at WrestleMania since Cena did it at 29 against The Rock. So I don't know. I got a couple of days to think. I got about 48 hours to think about it. That's not enough time, if I'm going to be real honest, but I'll try to make the most of it. But this was another solid match here, another 2.5 to 3 star fight here. And I don't know what else there is to say. So Michael Bullock, we talked about Bray Wyatt. We talked about what he's done at WrestleMania the last couple of years. Will this finally be his moment in the sun? Will he finally get that elusive WrestleMania moment? I hope so, honestly.
Yeah, I really hope so too. I mean, good thing, like you said, we still have about 48 hours to think about it before our big preview show on Thursday. So, yeah. So as far as the match goes, I'm going to say 2.5 to 3 stars as well. I mean, this was a really good match, and I thought Luke Harper looked good in defeat, and I think somewhere down the line he could be a future champion. So just give him some time, and we'll see how it goes. So, and then that promo with Randy Orton. Ooh. I mean, how does that – I mean, that certainly gave me chills when we saw it happen. So, man, can't wait to see what goes down between these two on Sunday night. So 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating. So with that being said, Fletch, it's time for our overall thoughts on the show.
Yes, indeed. This is it. The final review before WrestleMania. Anthony Florio. Or actually, Dee wants to chime in. All right. Normally we do open forum. Dee, it's yours.
I didn't get to chant on the last match.
Oh. All right.
Oopsie.
Yeah, major oopsie.
No, that's an oopsie on my
Nice
part.
job,
I had a
Holmes.
little dipsy-do botcheroo on my part.
All right, Dee, what's it? Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, what did you think?
I agree. It was 2.5 to 3-star match. I like the fact that Harper's finally standing up for himself. Finally showing Bray that he does have a brain in his head, that he knows what he's doing, and he doesn't have to have somebody dictate what he needs to do and everything. As for Orton, I haven't seen too many promos with Orton that haven't come out real good. And, this one was no exception. It was another awesome promo. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with the fact that, you got Taker doing the tombstone stuff, and now you have this with Orton. We don't want overkill on that. But at the same time, I mean, it's storyline progression. You have to finish up the storyline that they already started between Bray and Orton involving Sister Abigail. So, good segment, good match. So now you can go into your overall reviews.
Well, like I said, it is always open forum. So if you would like to start us off on the review, please go right ahead.
Well, it was a solid show. Definitely very much the storyline progressing show. Biggest surprise was Naomi actually coming back and staking her claim into the title picture. Still not too happy with their decision on that. I still think there was a much better choice that could have been put in on the pre-show instead of the women's title. I mean, isn't that what WrestleMania is for? Is to defend titles? It's not for some of these other extra matches they keep throwing in on WrestleMania. I mean, it's long enough as is. You already have a 2-hour pre-show, a 4-hour show. I mean, how much more do we have to go through with them trying to extend the shows? I mean, we've already had the argument that they should shorten Raw. Well, now here they are. They're trying to lengthen WrestleMania as well, and it's like, how much more do we have to take on that? So, for me, I'm going to give the show about 8 stars, and awesome segments, awesome storyline progression. Women's matches could have been a little bit better, but like I said, storyline progression, that's where it all stands up with Smackdown, and that's something that Raw has a big issue with. So for me, I'm going to head out. So good night, guys. See you Thursday.
All right, very good, Dee Dee Woodson, and I agree with Dee Dee's rating. I'm going to give it about 8 out of 10 myself. Nothing on this show was really overly bad. I mean, the matches were all solid. The one thing that really stood out tonight, the big moment of the show tonight, no question about it, the segment with The Miz and Maurice and John Cena and Nikki Bella, that was the show stealer tonight. They stole the show tonight. I mean, that's why I've been a little lackadaisical on this show tonight. I mean, I was so, I don't know what the proper word to say on that is. I was so, wowed by how great that segment was. I mean, I really couldn't put anything into words when it comes to this show tonight, but that was the highlight. The other matches were solid to good, and storyline progression. It's SmackDown Live's middle name, if you will. And that's the reason why SmackDown Live has been the better show than Monday Night Raw, and I admit it, even though I hate to admit it as a Raw guy, but, it is what it is. So we'll see who has the last laugh come WrestleMania. We'll find out which brand's fights delivered. I know a lot of people are saying the SmackDown Live fights are going to be better than the Raw fights. We'll see. You never know. But I'm hoping I'm wrong on that. I'm hoping the Raw fights end up delivering more, but we'll see. We'll see. But for what do I recommend? Well, I could honestly say I could recommend everything here. I mean, but the one thing that really needs to be on the top, the one thing that really has to be recommended at the top of it more than anything else, the segment, the Cena, Miz, Maurice, Nikki Bella segment. That's the segment that does it right there. You're not going to be able to put anything into words after seeing the epicness that segment delivers. So the other matches, like I said, the Wyatt Harper fight, go out. I recommend that. I would also recommend the Andre Battle Royal preview fight. That 10-man tag, boy, did that surprise the hell out of me. The women's match for the most part, and yeah, nothing on the show was overly bad. So, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, though. That's the best I can give. So that's all I can say there. Bullock, how about it? How did this go-home show for SmackDown Live deliver compared to Raw?
I'm going to make it unanimous. An 8 out of 10 is what I'm going to give it as well. Yeah, everything really wasn't that bad at all. I mean, the one I really enjoyed the most out of everything that I saw tonight was, of course, that Miz TV segment with the exchange with the Miz and Maurice and John Cena and Nikki Bella. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. So 8 out of 10. So, Fletch, if you're ready, it's time for your Mikey's Mindset.
And there's one other event that's going down on WrestleMania weekend that needs to be addressed, folks. From Lakeland, Florida, it is Ring of Honor, the Super Card of Honor. And it goes down, like I said, it goes down on Tuesday, April 1st, from the Jenkins Arena in Lakeland, Florida, or formerly known as the Lakeland Center. And yes, folks, this is the Ring of Honors, one of their biggest events of the year. The Super Card of Honor always has coincide with WrestleMania weekend. Normally, times a lot of people believe that Ring of Honor does a better job than WWE when it comes to their big events. Sometimes it's always 2 nights. Sometimes they do 3 nights. But no, this time around, Super Card of Honor is going down because they're literally going to be night as the NXT TakeOver Orlando. But here's the thing. They're doing their show earlier in the afternoon. This is a mid-afternoon event. This starts at 2 p.m. So all you people down in Florida, get down to Lakeland at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You will see some great professional wrestling from Ring of Honor, and the card itself is loaded. Here's the official fight card. First off, we have a tag team match. It's the Kingdom. Matt Taven and Vinny Malalani. And they're going to go up against the Beer City Bruiser and Pro Wrestling's last great man, Silas Young. That's going to be a tag team attraction. Then in a one-on-one fight, Frankie Kazarian to go one-on-one with Punisher Martinez. Then we have another tag team attraction. It's going to be Dragon Lee and Jay White. They're going to go up against Veladora Jr. from MCLL. That is the Mexico Continental Mundial de Lucha Libre. And Will Ospreay, formerly of Chaos from New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're going to team. Then the next 5 fights are going to be the reason you want to see this show. The villain, Marty Scurll, will put the Ring of Honor World Television title on the line against Adam Cole from the Bullet Club. Then we have is Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, and Bully Ray. They're going to be going up in a 6-man tag team fight against members of the Bullet Club. Hangman, Adam Page, Tama Tonga, and Roja, and this will be in a 6-man brawl. Then, one of the reasons why to watch this event, Jay Lethal to go one-on-one with the American Nightmare, TNA's Cody Rhodes, and this is going to be in a Texas bull rope match. The 2 main event matches of the evening. The first fight is the most highly anticipated fight in Ring of Honor history, and more importantly, in professional wrestling. When this fight was announced, the whole world wanted it to be in Florida for this match, for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship in a ladder war. It is going to be Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. They are going up against the reigning, defending, undisputed Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions and tag team in all of time and all of space. The Broken Hardys, Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Miro, Jeff Hardy. And this match is gonna be, well, I guess to steal the term of Anthony Florio, wonderful, yes!
Delightful, yes.
There you go. And in our main event, world title, the champion, the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, will go one-on-one with one of the most popular stars in Ring of Honor today, Dalton Castle. That's your main event for the Super Card of Honor on April 1st, from Lakeland, Florida, the Jenkins Center. And guys, they're going to show this event exclusively online. This is an iPay-per-view exclusive on Ring of Honor Wrestling, ROHWrestling.net. So please go there now, because if you try to get tickets for the show, I'm sorry, guys, you can't get in. The SRO signs went up weeks ago for this event. So whatever you do, you're going to have to watch this exclusively online on ROHWrestling.net. That's the only way you're going to get to see the Super Card of Honor for Ring of Honor this Saturday afternoon. Like I said, early in the afternoon will be Ring of Honor. Later that night, it's going to be TakeOver NXT TakeOver Orlando from the Amway Arena, and we will have that preview on Thursday night along with WrestleMania. So guys, that's it. Until Thursday night, for Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, for Dee Woodson, I am Michael Flecha. You know the routine. Of the Hand Pounds, we out. We'll see you Thursday night, 10 p.m. on the Tone 25, YouTube.com, and come right back here on this channel Sunday night after WrestleMania goes off the air. We will have everything about WrestleMania 33. Until then, have a good night. So long for now. We'll see you Thursday. Bye-bye.